So, I just want to talk about how the fact of that I was like unusually perverted as a child. I'm just gonna open this can. I'm just gonna expose my own stuff like a band aid. Because I just feel like, fuck it, at this point. So, it all started when I was a kid. You know, clearly, I'm not gonna get too much into it, but I was trying to understand why adults wanted to have sex. Why they thought it was fun or and pleasurable in any way, or even what it was or what it did or how it even, like, I was just like, I don't like this. This does not seem right to me. I feel like this is torture, and if I have to grow up and do this, I need to understand why. Why this is. And I was always that way when I was a kid. I was that kid that was just like, why? Well, why? You'd like tell me why something happened, and I'd be like, hey, okay, well, why was that put before that? Okay, well, why was that there? That doesn't make any sense. Can we back up? And like people just would get sick of me and be like, can you go play? Because I would just like ask so many fucking questions all the time. I was like a sponge. Like, I need to know stuff. Like, what is this thing? I'll pick up a tool. Like my grandpa, patience of a saint. Grandpa, what's this? Picture me at like 5. I was like petite little shit. Okay, I was tiny and scrawny. Grandpa, what are you doing? I'm bored as fuck. My grandpa's, it was like the best place because he just had like tools scattered and it just looked like a scattered ass fucking mess. But really, people just brought shit to my grandpa and he would fix it. Like he didn't like waste. He would find another use for it. So it would be just stuff that he was either working on or would use for something later. He was like very much a MacGyver. Like he just made shit. By the time I came around, my grandpa was pretty much very limited to how much he could move around. He used a cane a lot, and in his older years he was in a chair. Like he could still get up and down, take a few steps, but he couldn't walk that much. He actually, crazy enough, got a flu shot and then wasn't able to walk. Like, I mean, he could, I wouldn't call it paralyzed because he could move his legs and wiggle his toes, but he couldn't take more than 4 steps. Like he didn't have stability. You know what I mean? But anyway, Grandpa, what the? If I was a kid and I could speak the way I wanted to, I'm like, Grandpa, what the fuck is this? All this shit up here, Grandpa. I need to know everything about everything in your shop. Because I'm sick of looking at it and thinking, what the fuck is this, Grandpa? Can you fucking explain it, please? But I didn't say that because there's a little kid. I was like, Grandpa, what's this? What does this do? What? Who invented it? Grandpa? And my grandpa, like, he would tell me if he didn't know, he'd be like, I don't know. I don't know. Next time we go to the library, we'll look it up. And he'd just let me ask a million. My grandpa and his wife, my grandma, were like the only, and my dad, obviously, and my mom. My parents were pretty good about it. Eventually, my mom would be like, Lizzie, enough right now, okay? Go play. Ask me questions later. Like, they tolerated it. But my grandpa, like, never was like, Lizzie, you're asking too many questions. My grandpa went through war. Probably, like, he'd seen so much shit. Like, a little kid with questions was probably, like, nothing. It's like, I can tolerate this. Fucking Normandy bombs or whatever he had to deal with. Like, my little grandbaby, This is Zen. What the fuck do you mean? But anyway, later asked him questions about this, and he told me, like, you are not to ask these questions or know this about any of this, little girl. He was so flustered. I asked my grandpa what a clitoris was. I fucking shit you not. I was 8 years old. Like, Grandpa, I heard a funny word today. Which I didn't. I looked it up and I just couldn't pronounce it. So I asked, like, my older sister what it was, and she laughed. It's like, clitoris. She's 4 years older than me. So I was like, Grandpa, what's a clitoris? And he was like, what? Where did you even hear that word? And that was the kind of kid I was, which I'm getting into. The librarian, I shit you not. If I ever become famous, like, people are gonna come forward with some wackadoo shit. Like, I found Lizzie in the store peeping through a black bag at a Playboy. And I asked her what she was doing. And she said, I just wanted to see what my tits were gonna look like when they came in. So it really happened. I said tits and everything. I was hanging out with older kids because I needed information and I knew how to bribe them. I always had candy. I snuck cigarettes and I would bribe them for information like we were in jail and shit. And I'd be like, tell me what the fucking dick does. How does it go in the vagina? Does it, like, just steamroll in there? Like, every time, like, I had a lot of kooky I had a notebook. Like Harriet the fucking spy, only the opposite. I wasn't spying for, like, nosy shit. I was like, when I'm an adult, I have to do things like put clamps on my tits. What are my tits gonna look like? And then I went totally left down that aisle, and I totally didn't, like, understand that that was not normal for a child to be wondering those things. I wasn't like, oh, I want to go out and do sex, or like, ooh, look at my tit. I just was, like, legit curious. I looked at pictures of dicks, vaginas, tits. I watched porn. Yeah, like old school tapes. I found my dad's, and I was like, this is gonna give me so much information. And I watched it, and I was fucking horrified. This was my face. It sounds like she's dying. I have to do this? What's that disgusting stuff that comes out? And why does he put it on her stomach? I have so many more questions. I have to go to the library. I need my notebook. Oh my god! Shit, you not. I like 7, 8. I should have been playing, like, I did play with Barbies. I also made my Barbies, like, Ken, this is a clitoris. You're supposed to put your mouth on it. And she does things like, ah, oh my god, I love it. Oh god, thank you. I would mimic porn. Like, thank god my mom was, like, busy working 3 jobs because if she heard what I was saying, oh my god. Like 8-year-olds old being accused of being a porn star, and really I was just curious. I fucking shit you not, I was the last one to graduate in my grade. I don't know for sure. I'm sure there was another girl that held it out, but it was like a running joke. I was the last one to lose my V badge, man. So, you know what? Let your little girls look at them books. Especially an STD one. Because that fucking shit. Then I watched my mom give birth when I was like 10. And then again at 12. And I was like, fuck this. I'm never having sex. This is the most terrible thing ever invented. But thank God it was, because I'm here. What is that stuff that comes out? Nobody would ever answer me. They'd be like, go away, kid. Ask your parents. That's too much. Like, why is that too much? What's jizz? What is it made of? Can somebody please explain to me where jizz comes from in the body? Excuse me, jizz gland. Like, I didn't get it. I was a little kid and nobody would correct me. I even asked the produce guy at the store, excuse me, sir, do you know what jizz is? Like, what it's made of? I was like, I think it was like 9 on that one. God help us all if I have a daughter. Oh my fucking God. I can't wait. I'm like, what? She just wants to know what a clitoris is. It's not weird.